The FAA temporarily shut down a significant swath of airspace over northern Wisconsin and northern Michigan at noon yesterday to support Department of Defense activities. The closure followed a similar action taken over Montana Saturday night and was related to the shot down of a third unidentified object over the U.S. and Canada within a 72-hour period. The Great Lakes area airspace reopened late Sunday afternoon. However, a Canadian TFR remains in the immediate area over Sunday's shoot-down over Canadian waters. Sunday night, a senior Pentagon official admitted to significant gaps in national defense radar while discussing the Sunday shoot-down at 20,000 feet over Lake Huron, just south of Manitoulin Island. The latest object entered U.S. airspace over Montana shortly before dusk on Saturday, but was lost according to U.S. Northcom Commander Jen Glenn Van Herk, who said Oregon-based F-15 fighters dispatched to investigate the radar contact were unsuccessful. It's also important to point out, in this part of the United States, we do not have data link for queuing like we had before, used to track a suspected Chinese balloon that traveled the U.S. for several days before being shot down off the coast of South Carolina. Data link allows the radars on the ground to share information to the fighters that are airborne, allowing them to cue their sensors and their visual activity in an attempt to visually identify the track. On sunset, we were unable to find the track. Also, our radar operators lost the track on radar, and the FFA was never tracking the radar, Van Herrick said. Van Herrick said after original China spy balloon incident earlier this month, the U.S. Air Force reset velocity gates on several of its radars to better allow it to detect slower moving objects and identify altitude blocks. He also said there's a heightened alert to look for this information. What is now believed to be the same object was reacquired on this radar late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, crossing in the northern Wisconsin and Michigan's Upper Peninsula. On Sunday morning, two F-16s from the Minnesota Air National Guard 148th Fighter Wing, based in Duluth, took off from Durax Field in Madison, Wisconsin, to conduct the intercept. One of those aircraft dispatched the object with an AIM-9X Sidewinder air-to-air missile. They were supported by a KC-135R tanker from the Pennsylvania Air National Guard 171st Aerial Refueling Wing in Pittsburgh, an E-3 Sentry Airborne Warning and Control System AWACS from Tinker AFB, Oklahoma, two Canadian Air Force F-18s, and a Canadian tanker. Over the weekend, the Pentagon said it is continuing to search for wreckage associated with the shoot-down of two other objects, one near Dead Horse, Alaska, on Friday, and the other in Canadian Yukon on Saturday. Van Herrick declined to confirm or deny media reports that the object shot down Friday caused interference with the flight instruments aboard a USAF F-22 involved in the intercept. All three of the recently downed objects were done so because they were cruising at altitudes between 20,000 and 40,000 feet and presented a hazard to civil aviation. According to the Pentagon, the FAA issued a TFR for the area around Dead Horse on Friday.